Hey everyone! I thought today we would do a quick tutorial together on how to complete the cushion pattern. So if you ordered the August Bling Box, you would have gotten this pattern in the box to complete your August Bling Box project. And so now we're just going to do a quick run through and see how that's done. You'll see that I've already laid a line of my adhesive, and this is the super tight tack adhesive, and you can find this with us on Be Createful, and this is what the large bottle looks like. So I've gone ahead and I've laid my row of glue, and I'm going to use this picker tool that came in one of our previous bling boxes. And I'm going to start with my SS20s. So I'm using Jet Black and SS20s, and then I'm going to use these SS6 Crystal ABs so that it's easy to see the separation of the stones. So I'm going to first pick up my SS20s, and I'm going to go ahead and lay them in a row across this line of glue that I've already laid down. And I'm going to ensure that my stones are nice and tucked together, but at the same time I'm going to leave just the right amount of space for the next row. So as we move to the end of this line of glue that I've laid down, you'll see that we have one row of all SS20s in Jet Black. So now this is what we're going to call our anchor or base line, as it is going to be our starting point. So if you were making a tumbler or some other type of project, if it was a tumbler, you would be starting at the top of the tumbler and you'd be working your way down. So this is like the edge of the top of the tumbler, and then we'll say down here is like the bottom where you would set the tumbler on the table. So now that we have that line complete, we're going to go back through with our super tight, and this is a precision tip bottle, so you'll see that the tip at the end is real nice and small, so it allows you to get the glue in the right spot. So I'm just going to lay down a small dot of my glue in between each of the SS20s I laid down in the row above. So now I have a whole row of dots of glue that I'm going to now take my SS6 Crystal ABs, and I'm going to simply lay them right in between the SS20s. Now, you can let your baseline dry before you start your next row to ensure that you're not nudging any of the stones out of line or making your base row uneven. Or you can just start and fix it as you go. So you'll see that I'm laying these SS6 Crystal ABs right where I laid down my dot of glue, moving down the row. So now that our first row of Crystal AB SS6s is laid down, we're going to go back through again with our super tight, and we're going to lay a solid row of glue for our next row of SS20s. Now you can see that the SS20 stones are much larger than the SS6 stones, so you want to make sure that you're applying enough adhesive, but then not too much adhesive for the smaller SS6 stones. So now that we have our adhesive, our glue down, we're going to go back through with the SS20s again, and we're going to lay these directly under the first row of SS20s, which then lay right in between the row of SS6s that we just laid down. As you move down your project, you'll start to see the cushion effect take place. So now we have our row of SS20 down. We're going to go back through with our SS6s and lay another row of the Crystal AB and SS6s in between each of the SS20s we just laid down. This is such a fun pattern, and it gives it such a cool effect. You can change up the pattern of your stones if you want to between your SS6s. In the August Bling Box project, you can see that that's what we've done. We alternated 3 different colors in SS6s between one color of SS20s. So now we've laid down another row of our glue. Again, we're going back through with our SS20s in Jet Black. And we're just laying these right under the previous row of SS20s. So your SS20s are going to be more stacked than alternating. In honeycomb method, your SS20 stones alternate in between each other, but here your SS20s stack on top of each other. So now we already have 3 rows of SS20s and 2 rows of SS6s. The cushion pattern's really coming together, but we'll keep going and you'll get to see it even more. Okay, so now that we have several rows done, you can start to see the cushion effect take place. You can see that the SS6s are sitting nice and snug in between all of the rows of SS20s. And this does give it a nice tucked cushion look. So again, we're just going to take our super tight adhesive in our precision tip bottle, and we're going to lay dots of glue down in between the last row of SS20s that we laid down. And we're just going to simply set them in place, ensure they're nice and stuck down. And we're going to move through so that we can add another row of our SS20s. So now that we have all those SS6s down in that row, we'll lay another row of glue and go back through with our SS20s. What I like most about this pattern is that you can make it your own. You can alternate the SS6 stones if you would like. You can use different colors in the SS20s. But it is a really fun pattern that has a lot of dimension from the tucked effect. And so it's one I would definitely try.